Today I am discussing about crafting a leather wallet using a laser cutter. Some pictures are in this video you can see. As my old wallet was starting to rack up some miles, I took on the challenge to craft another one using my laser cutter. Even if this method might not be the fastest one, it allowed me to craft really neat looking leather goods without having to buy a whole bunch of expensive leather tools from the start. This pattern may be bought online from this shop, but I thought it would be a great way to showcase the techniques I use to craft laser cut leather goods. In this tutorial, I will provide some patterns that will allow you to practice your glowing, stitching, and leather finishing skills before attempting a more complex pattern like this one. Step 1 is gather your materials. Essentials. These items are mandatory in crafting this item and are easily sourceable. The step 1 is 3OZ leather, veteran oil train, never crown train leather on a laser. The second one is 2 needles. The third one is 0.8 millimeter to 1 millimeter thread, flat or round. The third one is masking tape. The fourth one is a piece of cardboard bigger than the piece of leather used. The fifth step is utility knife. The sixth one is PVA or polychlorophene glue. The seventh one is a small drill bit. The eighth one is rough sandpaper and fine sandpaper thousands grit. The ninth one is laser cutter. Optional, these items are nice to have and will they have drastically improve the final look and feel of the finished them. Those are used exclusively in finishing the edges of the leather. The first one is edge beveler, the second is leather burnisher, the third one is edge filler and paint, the fourth one is beeswax. Step 2 is prepare the leather for laser cutting. Some pictures are in this video. When crafting anything on a laser cutter, you have to remember a golden rule. Soot is equals to smell. The last thing we want in our fancy look leather goods to smell like a burnt cow. In this case, we shall taking all the precautions needed to protect the leather from being contaminated by the soot. In this case, the leather should be covered with the masking tape on the inside, the fuzzy one, the tape cut around the contour, and then the leather should be marked on the good side and taped on a piece of cardboard to take it flat. After all the precautions, cut the leather using your laser cutter. Step 3. Clean up the suit. It's important to not to peel the masking tape from the leather during this step. Using a small drill bit using to clean up very hole and the suit inside will try dirty the thread. Clean up all the edges of the leather. After all this is done, use a damp cloth to wipe all the remaining soot and remove the masking tape from the leather. Step 4. Check out everything is aligned. After you have properly cleaned up the leather, check if you have all the pieces necessary and then everything aligns nicely. The backside is bit longer, then allow the wallet to fold nicely. The fifth step is preparing the pieces of stitching and gluing. Using piece of utility knife razor by holding it perpendicular to the surface of the leather. Scratch use gluing surface into the increase the adhesions. The pieces that must be prepared for gluing are 2, 4, 5 and 6. This tutorial may quarter leather is amazing is explaining the technique for saddle stitching without a pony. The sixth one is glue and stitch the pockets. General rules for stitching: the size of the thread should be approximately 4x the length of the stitch. In this case, I am using glue saddle stitch without a stitching pony. The seventh one is optional, finish the inside edges, and the eighth one is glue and stitch the left side of the system, etc.